above Earth split open like shattered glass, not from a meteor, not from an invasion fleet, but from a collision between two beings so powerful that reality itself struggled to contain them. One was the unstoppable avatar of destruction, Juggernaut. Empowered by the ancient force of Thragg, he was a living avalanche, a force that could not be stopped once he gained momentum. The other was the greatest warrior the Viltrumite Empire had ever produced, Thragg, the conqueror of worlds, the slayer of armies, a being who had crushed heroes with his bare hands and survived battles that would have annihilated civilizations. And now, only one of them would walk away. It began in deep space. Thragg had spent years rebuilding the remnants of the Viltrumite Empire. Across distant galaxies, entire star systems bowed before his strength. Then he heard rumors, stories whispered among alien civilizations, stories about a red armored giant on Earth, a being who could not be stopped, a being who had survived attacks from gods. Thragg laughed. No warrior was unstoppable, not while he still lived. So he came to Earth, not with an army, not with a fleet, alone, because Thragg needed no army. The moment he entered Earth's atmosphere, alarms erupted across the planet. Heroes gathered, satellites tracked him, governments panicked, but Thragg ignored them all. He had only one target. Far away in the deserts of Nevada, Juggernaut stood before a mountain-sized crater left from one of his previous rampages. The ground trembled. Juggernaut looked up. A red streak descended from the heavens. Then, boom! Thragg landed. The impact flattened miles of desert. Dust rolled across the horizon. The two titans stared at each other. Neither moved, neither blinked, neither looked away. "You're the unstoppable one?" Thragg asked. Juggernaut smirked beneath his helmet. "You're the guy everyone keeps talking about?" Thragg crossed his arms. "I've conquered worlds." Juggernaut shrugged. "I've punched through dimensions." For a moment, silence. Then Thragg smiled. The smile of a predator. The smile of someone who had finally found a challenge. "Good." Thragg erupted from the sea. Blood dripped from his mouth. Not much, but enough. Enough to make him angry. Very angry. He rocketed back toward Juggernaut. The two collided in midair. The explosion lit up the planet like a beacon sun. Continents shook. Volcanoes awakened. The moon itself seemed to tremble. They traded blows across the globe. Over oceans, across mountains, through storms. Neither slowing, neither surrendering. Then Juggernaut did what he always did. He started running. At first, Thragg laughed. Then he realized something. Juggernaut wasn't just running. He was accelerating. Faster, faster, faster. The ancient power of Thragg surged through him. Every step increased his momentum. Every second multiplied his force. Soon entire valleys collapsed beneath his feet. The earth groaned under his weight. Thragg prepared himself. His muscles tightened, his fists clenched, his eyes narrowed. He would stop him. He had stopped armies. He had stopped empires. Surely he could stop one man. Juggernaut hit him. And Thragg learned what impossible felt like. The impact launched him through the planet's atmosphere, past satellites, past orbit, into space. The shockwave reached Earth seconds later. Every ocean rose. Every continent shook. For a brief moment, humanity thought the world was ending. Thragg regained control. Rage burned inside him. He flew back toward Earth, not as a warrior, as a missile, a living weapon. He struck Juggernaut from orbit. The collision carved a crater hundreds of miles wide. The ground beneath them liquefied. Cities thousands of miles away felt the quake. Still they fought. Punch after punch. Strike after strike. The planet itself becoming collateral damage. Thragg adapted. That was always his greatest strength. He studied Juggernaut, analyzed him, learned. He realized something terrifying. The mystical energy surrounding Juggernaut wasn't weakening. It wasn't running out. It was endless, an infinite river of power. For the first time, Thragg considered the possibility that raw strength might not be enough. But Thragg had never relied on strength alone. He relied on brutality. He attacked Juggernaut's eyes, his throat, his joints, every vulnerable point. Thousands of strikes, millions. The assault would have killed almost anything else. Yet Juggernaut kept advancing, like an earthquake wearing armor, like a mountain that had learned to walk. like fate itself. Hours passed. The battlefield stretched across the globe. Both warriors bled. Both warriors roared. Both warriors refused to yield. Then Thragg unleashed everything. Every ounce of Viltrumite power, every lesson from centuries of warfare, every shred of fury. He attacked with such ferocity that space itself seemed to crack. The sky turned white. The oceans evaporated beneath the heat. Entire mountain ranges vanished. Finally, Juggernaut stopped moving. For one brief second, Thragg smiled. He thought he had won. He thought he had finally broken the unstoppable force. Then he heard laughter, deep, thunderous, terrifying. Juggernaut was laughing. "You done?" The crimson gem embedded within his armor blazed. The power of Thragg erupted. A storm of mystical energy engulfed the planet. The sky turned red. Reality warped. Gravity twisted. The very laws of nature bent. Thragg's smile vanished because he finally understood. He wasn't fighting a man, he was fighting a cosmic force. Both warriors knew the battle had reached its end. One final attack. One final chance. One final collision. Thragg flew upward, higher, 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 until he stood at the edge of space. Every muscle in his body screamed. Every ounce of power gathered into a single strike. The greatest punch he had ever thrown. The punch that had shattered armies. The punch that had killed legends. Below him, Juggernaut lowered his head, then charged. The earth trembled, the oceans parted, the atmosphere ignited. A crimson trail followed behind him, like a comet of destruction. Like a god of war unleashed. Thragg descended, Juggernaut ascended, the distance vanished, the universe held its breath. Then they collided. A flash brighter than 1,000 suns erupted across the sky. Shockwaves raced across continents. The moon cracked, satellites disintegrated, the heavens themselves seemed to scream. For several seconds, nobody could see anything. Then the light faded. The world looked upward, searching, waiting, praying. A single figure fell from the sky. Thragg, broken, unconscious, defeated. His body slammed into the desert. The impact created one final crater, then silence. Far above him stood Juggernaut, bruised, damaged, bleeding, but standing, still standing, always standing. Thragg had fought harder than almost anyone ever had, hard enough to shake worlds, hard enough to challenge the impossible, but in the end, he had encountered the one thing even the greatest Viltrumite could not overcome, the unstoppable force. Juggernaut looked down at the fallen conqueror, then turned away. The battle was over, the war was finished, and the earth had survived by the narrowest margin imaginable. As the crimson giant walked toward the horizon, the ground trembled beneath every step, not from weakness, not from exhaustion, but as a reminder, a warning to gods, monsters, conquerors, and kings alike, that somewhere in the universe, there still existed a force that could not be stopped. The Juggernaut.